Zeraora was one of the Pokemon that was apparently supposed to be receiving a Mega Evolution all the way back from the Terra leak a couple of months ago. Like, this was one of the first ever rumored / leaked Mega Evolutions to be coming out for Pokemon Legends ZA. The Terra leak was the just absolutely insanely huge leak that went down with like everything Pokemon related just a couple of months ago. And within the leak, we knew that we were getting new Mega Evolutions, and the only ones that actually came out were Zygarde and Zeraora. So what the heck happened to Zeraora? Even when all of these brand new Mega Evolutions recently were coming out, apparently Zeraora was still kind of planned to get a Mega Evolution, but that's not happening anymore. We were going to get 27 evolutions, but now apparently we're only getting 26 brand new Mega Evolutions, which is still like an insane amount. Like, that's still a lot of Mega Evolutions. It's way more, almost about double what I thought we were actually going to get for this game. My early on theory was that we were probably going to get like 10 to 15 new Mega Evolutions, and I really thought we were going to get regional variants, but apparently we're not going to get regional variants either, which is a little bit unfortunate. Now, you got to remember that these are all leaks, so it's kind of hard to judge like what was actually real unless Game Freak would come out and just tell us. Like, I wish there would be a day where Game Freak or Nintendo or the Pokemon Company, whatever, would just have like a whole live stream where they just drop information about stuff that was scrapped from Pokemon games, like Mega Evolutions or just Pokemon designs. Like, there's so many Pokemon designs that were scrapped back in like Generation 2 that are actually Pokemon nowadays, like in Generation 9 and stuff. So stuff like that is really cool, and it doesn't necessarily mean that Zeraora is never going to get a Mega Evolution. There are a lot of people online that are kind of convinced that Zeraora is still coming to Legends ZA with a Mega Evolution, either through a DLC or some sort of other way. There was a small leak that kind of said that we're going to get maybe more Mega Evolutions, like another 6 Mega Evolutions to coincide with like the different areas or slices within the map, and then also the area where the Prism Tower is. So we could have more. I kind of doubt it though. I really think 26 is going to be the peak as far as brand new Mega Evolutions, because 26, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with the alphabet ranking system that we have in the game. We go from level Z or rank Z to rank A, which is 26 different ranks, so 1 Mega Evolution per rank. I think that kind of makes sense. And before we get to the rest of the video, guys, if you don't mind subscribing to the channel and turning on the post notifications so you don't miss another video. My goal is to hit 20k subscribers before the summertime. My original goal was before the end of the year, but you guys have been showing so much support, and I think that we could do it before the summertime really approaches, which is absolutely insane. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel. It really goes such a long way. Make sure to join up my Discord server, and shout out to the member of the week, Adarius Martin. You are a goat, bro. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you to all of my other channel members. All right, back to the rest of the video. So Flygon is another Pokemon that people are convinced was actually supposed to get a Mega Evolution. So there are things that kind of have came out over the last couple of years that kind of suggest that Flygon never actually really was planned for Mega Evolution, but then there are also other things that are like, okay, no, Flygon was really 100% supposed to get a Mega Evolution. Now, I would absolutely love if Flygon received a Mega Evolution for this game. I think that would have been so awesome, especially since, you know, the fans have wanted a Mega Flygon for years and years. At least we're getting Dragonite, though. I mean, I know Dragonite was also a huge kind of fan, you know, requested Mega Evolution, and that's actually happening, at least reportedly happening, according to the leaks. Now, these are leaks, so take them with a grain of salt. You know, you shouldn't trust anything you see on the internet, because anything posted that's a leak has the chance of being fake, but a lot of the leaks that come out do actually end up becoming real, and, you know, on the other hand, a lot of them come out being false, being totally incorrect. It would have been cool to have, you know, a Mega Zeraora, which is a mythical Pokemon, which is insane. It's kind of crazy that Zeraora is a mythical because he doesn't necessarily look like most mythical Pokemon. Typically, the mythical Pokemon are like kind of smaller, you know, like baby-sized Pokemon, I guess I'll call it, which, you know, Zeraora kind of stands out. I think Zeraora is such a unique and cool-looking Pokemon, and I think it just would have been amazing to get a Mega Evolution. I just think that the design could have been absolutely insane, and him being from Generation 7, the Sun and Moon games, I think it would have been cool to have it in this game, because Zygarde was, you know, pretty heavily featured within the Sun and Moon games, which is pretty interesting. So it kind of would have just been a cool little thing to have a Generation 7 mythical, you know, Pokemon come to this game where, you know, Zygarde is the main character. Like, this is the main game for Zygarde. I cannot wait to see exactly what this game turns out to be. But, and honestly, one of the reasons why I really think they could have scrapped Zeraora is because simply it could have been too good, like too cool. It would have outshined, you know, Zygarde, because Mega Zygarde is apparently happening in this game. Apparently, Zygarde is going to be receiving a Mega Evolution, and so is Eternal Flower Floette. So a Mega Zeraora, which is obviously a mythical Pokemon, Zygarde is not a mythical, Zygarde's a legendary. It kind of would have maybe overshadowed Zygarde in a lot of ways for just like the general public or the general gaming audience, because you know, a lot of people that play the Pokemon games don't really care about like the lore, or like they could just care about like, you know, mythical or, you know, legendary Pokemon. So I feel like for the general mass public, people probably would have overshadowed Zygarde with Zeraora. There could have just been some, like, I don't know, balance issues, probably lore conflicts, which kind of would make sense, especially since Zeraora is a mythical Pokemon from Gen 7. That means it's a pretty significant Pokemon, which, you know, really kind of would have conflicted with the overall lore of Pokemon Legends ZA, which is Zygarde. Don't know what the A stands for, and I'm going to point this out here, which I know there's going to be some people thinking this in the comments. Zeraora starts with Z and ends with A, which a lot of people are like, what if this game is actually about Zeraora? I don't think that was ever the case. I think that's just a coincidence. Like, I really don't think that that has any significance to do with the name. I think that's just a complete coincidence. But yeah, the lore would have been definitely kind of interesting, like, because what would Zeraora have done for this game? Like, what possibly could he have been as far as the storyline and like how he would be introduced to the game? Like, who, like, why would he be there, right? So I feel like that's probably overall the main reason, and I kind of agree with it, even though I would absolutely love to see a Mega Zeraora, and I do think that it probably would have been one of the coolest looking Mega Evolutions ever and would have probably helped this game get more and more sales. I really do think that they just wanted to focus more on Zygarde as the, you know, legendary Pokemon, as the Pokemon mascot, I guess I'll call it, of this game. And maybe they could just put Zeraora in another game with a Mega Evolution. I don't know, it's possible. Or like I said, there could be a DLC. Like a DLC could allow us to go to a different area. Like, imagine a DLC of Legends ZA could take place on an island within the Alola region, because we know that that's possible, right? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, for example, the DLC didn't take place in the Paldea region. It took place in the Unova region, and then I can't remember where Kitakami was. The DLC wasn't in Paldea, which is cool because that means this game, if it had as a DLC, doesn't necessarily mean it has to take place in the Kalos region. Like, we could have another 2-part DLC where maybe we get to go to a different region and then we get to go to like a different part within the Kalos region. I think something like that would be super cool, and then boom, Mega Zeraora within the DLC. Now, it would be a little unfortunate if Mega Zeraora was behind like a paywall of a DLC, but at the same time, from a business aspect, it kind of would make sense for Game Freak to do that, because if Mega Zeraora is a very cool looking Mega Evolution and it's behind a DLC, that probably would sell a lot of more copies of Legends ZA, as well as, you know, the DLC itself. The list of current Mega Evolutions in the game is pretty interesting. Like, it's kind of interesting to see what some of the choices they picked actually are. Like, some of them are Generation 1. We finally are getting some more Gen 5 and 6 Pokemon with Mega Evolutions, which is awesome. And, you know, the starter Pokemon are going to get Mega Evolutions, which, once again, like, those are some pretty big Pokemon right there, the starter Pokemon. Apparently, all of the Legends ZA starters and the Generation 6, which are the Kalos region starters, apparently they are all getting Mega Evolutions, which those are some hefty Pokemon right there. So once again, like, would Zeraora overshadow those Pokemon because Zeraora is a mythical? Or on the other hand, would all of these Pokemon overshadow Zeraora because, you know, it's a bunch of really awesome Pokemon? Obviously, people have a connection with the starter Pokemon because a lot of people are going to be pretty close to, you know, Tepig or Totodile or, you know, whatever the starter Pokemon may actually be that they pick. And then they won't really care as much about Mega Zeraora because, well, they want to just focus on getting the Mega Evolution for their starter Pokemon. Which is also another reason why a DLC would kind of be a smart choice or option for Pokemon and Game Freak, because, you know, people to play the game in another 6 months after everyone's, like, you know, beat the game, the first storyline, then we get another storyline. And a DLC would, you know, extend the overall, I guess, story of Pokemon Legends ZA a little further, and then boom, Mega Zeraora is the coolest thing and the, you know, reason for the sale, other than the storyline, hopefully, for the DLC, which, you know, is a little unfortunate, like I said, but it kind of makes sense. Well, I wasn't actually even planning on making a video about this, but I've seen so much, like, passion about Zeraora from people in the community. People love Zeraora. I didn't even know how many people, like, actually cared about Zeraora up until now. Like, it's insane. Zeraora has some fans. Like, seriously, people love Zeraora. I'm still getting comments to this day about Mega Zeraora, and I haven't really talked about it much recently. I mean, I've brought it up here and there for like a split second, but like I haven't really gone into depth about it. So I'm like, you know what? Why not just make a whole video about it? Because it's a talking point, man. It's something interesting, and I just, like I said, I just wish we could actually see and hear from Game Freak why they make some of the decisions they make, because sometimes the things that they decide to do you know, are a little bit weird, a little bit just kind of out of the box in a weird way, but sometimes it's a really cool out of the box way. But anyways, let me know what you guys are thinking about Mega Zeraora, and if you're excited about this game and using Mega Evolution again, because we haven't had Mega Evolution forever. I cannot wait to see how Mega Evolutions like actually feel and play within this game. I mean, we know what they kind of look like because we saw some of them in the trailer. We didn't get to see every single Mega Evolution, I don't think, and we don't really know how many are returning either. Like, I don't know if we're getting all 46 or 48, however many Mega Evolutions there are, you know, in the Pokemon universe as a whole right now in this game, on top of the new 26, or if we're just getting like, I don't know, maybe like 20 out of the existing Mega Evolution Pokemon, and then we're getting, you know, the 26 new ones. I feel like that would be possible, but at the same time, it's like, why not just give us all of them? You know what I'm saying? Because you know, it's cool, it's Mega Evolution, so why not? But if you're a real one watching this far in the video, comment down below orange just to confuse the people that aren't watching this far in the video and to show me that you're still watching, because I'm trying to make a little bit longer of videos. I'm just kind of testing things out to see if you guys like the longer videos, so let me know if you like the longer content, because typically I make like 8 to 10 minute videos, but I kind of want to start pushing it a little bit. Maybe it's like 15-minute long videos, but then sometimes I don't have enough stuff to talk about. So just let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you like the longer videos or not. Anyways, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not subbed already, and turn on the post notifications. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.